This is Rock Leach with Social Fire. Now, family, let me get straight to it. Not long ago, Bishop Henry Fernandez was on his podcast, smiling from ear to ear, talking about how God sent Joel Tudman to the Faith Center. He called him home. He called him the next generation, called him the man to carry the baton. And now Tudman is out, fired, gone, and all the people got was a letter and a trust the process. No answers, no clarity, just church cliches and a command to not to post emotionally. See, this is where I've got a problem, because you can't stand in front of God's people one week and say, this is God's will, then turn right around the next week and say, don't ask questions. So today, we're going to deal with the contradictions. We're going to ask the questions that leadership doesn't want to answer. And we're going to expose what this moment says about the state of the modern church. Listen, because if they can parade Tudman as God's chosen one, then disregard him without explanation, it's not just about Joel Tudman. It's about the integrity of leadership and whether the people of God are being told the truth. You don't want to miss this video.
Social fire, we don't play. Rock Leach bringing the heat all day. Faith on fire, no mask, no leash. Fire in his voice, yeah, I rock.
He the voice for the ones that the church forgot. He bring truth to the light, whether liked or not.
All right, let's go ahead and get straight on into this, because we want to talk about this. You know, what just happened at the Faith Center doesn't add up, y'all. It doesn't add up. And I'm going to show you several different videos here that's going to shed a whole light onto what really probably happened. Bishop Henry Fernandez was celebrating Joel Tudman as the next generation, the assistant pastor, the one chosen to carry the baton. And then suddenly he's gone, fired, no explanation, just a letter and a trust the process. Now, I've got to show you something. He actually got him there, but I want you to look at how many actual ministers are at this church already, y'all. This is not a church that is short on ministers at all. I want to show you the ministry team from the Faith Center. Listen to me. I want you to see how many folk they got already that's a part of this church. Look at that. Look at all the ministers there. You've got 29 pastors here already at this church. 29 pastors here and 40 ministers. Look at that. Look at that. But you got Joel Tudman took him around because of his charisma, because he could really fill the seats. And you had all these folk that you overlooked. Now, I'm just saying, was Joel Tudman brought into a bad situation? But let's go here, because I really also want to show how he contradicted himself as far as Bishop Henry Fernandez. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. He talked about passing the baton, and it just don't make any sense. You got to see this. Let's go.
I'm just in a floor. The uniqueness about me is I'm in a private room.
Yes, sir.
I don't share my room with nobody. You know. And we want to help for people to understand that this is about the passing of the baton, if you will. For me.
Now listen, I'm going to stop this video from time to time to stay within fair use, so miss me with the stopping the videos a lot, because I'm actually talking about this and I have to be careful, because folk will try to copyright strike me when they don't like what I'm saying, so I just have to be really careful with that. But he's talking specifically. This is back when he was parading Joel Tudman around to everybody, letting them know, I got to pass the baton. Now, I want you to look at how he talks about why he did this and God told him. I want you to listen to this. Listen to all this.
I want to talk about me. I thank God for you.
Wow.
Because, Pastor, I believe that, and I'm going to ask you this question later, the biggest mistake I think I have made is that I did not do this sooner.
Wow.
I'm 60. I want what I'm doing with you, I wanted to do it at 50.
You're 60 now. You wanted to do it at 50, but you just got rid. Okay, let's go. You can't make this up, but let's go.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. At 50. And I want leaders to hear me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sick. I'm not dying. I'm not frustrated. Certainly, I'm not depressed. But when I tell you, I really believe if this is about the gospel, we must understand that God gives us a season. To everything, there is a season.
Now, I want you to look how he's putting God on this. It's just so sad because you got all these details about how you got to the point to get Joel Tudman there, but you're real shaded with what happened to get him out of there. I'm just saying, let's go.
So my season, I've been saying it for years, was to start the church, build it, get it ready, and prepare it for the next generation.
Wow.
And I remember saying to them over and over, the one thing that I want to do before I do it is to make sure the debt is paid off.
Yes, sir.
Haven't done that yet because COVID kind of
threw a
came in
wrench in it.
and messed it up. But I wanted to do this at age 50. And sometimes, we say, okay, in God's timing, right? But sometimes I don't think, God always interferes with things and delay things. Sometimes I just think we have delayed reaction. We wait too long. Wow. And I
Waited. He's putting his foot in his mouth. I'm just telling you. This is from the very beginning, though. This is not now. This is from the very beginning. Go ahead.
looking back in my life, I think if I had put certain things in place, maybe I could have done it sooner. Are there any regrets in your life?
Well, first of all, I think it's
I'm trying to bypass that.
I think it's crazy
Yeah.
that you would say that because there's people right now that are in your generation that call me and said this statement to me. Hey, wait a minute, that guy, he's younger than Bishop Jakes.
Now, let me give you some preference here before I go to the next video. I'll give you some understanding here. Now, Tudman comes away from Bishop Jakes. Bishop Brady, Cheryl Brady's husband, is the one that got him to the revival over there. You know, Bishop Brady and Cheryl Brady pastored Bishop Jakes' second campus of the Potter's House. They just changed it, I believe, to the Bridge. They changed the name when Bishop Jakes stepped down because I think that ministry is totally them now. Now, with that said, he went and preached, I think it was a watch night service over there. Then he started going to the Potter's House because Bishop Jakes wanted to meet him, and he became very successful at the Potter's House. But Bishop Fernandez is a part of that mentorship over there under Bishop Jakes, and I believe that's how that whole connection happened. And so you got him there, got him celebrated, and then we moved on because, whatever. We don't know, all of this. I'm going to show you another video where he's celebrating him, talking about Joel Tudman, putting him out there for everybody to see him. This is who is going to take the ministry. He's the next generation. He's this and that. Come on, I want y'all to look at this because this ain't just firing him. I want you because when y'all fired him, y'all talked about it just trust me as your pastor. Just trust me. Man, you've been celebrating this man, parading him in front of the church all this time. You went on a parade tour. Then all of a sudden, you just ambiguous. You just gonna let us know without letting us know. You just kind of tell us whatever. Just trust me. You can't make this stuff up. Let's go.
But, for me, gentlemen, 60, I knew I had to make a strategic move.
Yes.
To make sure that the work here at the Faith Center is continued. So you are the next generation of young people that are taking over. Bishop Ray and I can relate to that. He has a church. How should we be preparing? Let me start with Bishop Ray. How should we?
Now, see, I wanted to get this video because he's talking about steadily, because Joel Tudman became a regular on his podcast where he's steadily celebrating him. Now, I wanted to make that plain to you because he passed over 69, I want you to hear me, is 29 pastors and 40 ministers. You passed over all of them to get Joel Tudman. You got him in there. Now I'm just saying, you parading him, got him on your podcast, you're parading him. And then we get over here to this video where you done let him go. Shout out to joy105.com there. But then you got to this video, and this is the video that's kind of going around everywhere where he sent a letter. You paraded him in front of everybody, but when you got rid of him, you sent a letter. Wasn't no sit down, wasn't no podcast. You just paraded him, and now you just got a letter. Let's get into this because you didn't sit down with him in front of everybody.
Yesterday, many of you received a letter from me, and yes, the letter is authentic. I know many of you may have a lot of questions and concerns, but for 34 years, I have led this church as God has led me. And I can assure you that God will continue to direct us. Now, I'm asking all of you to continue to trust my leadership.
Just like they trusted it when you brought Tubman in, but you explained. Y'all gotta miss me with this whole thing where you make it all official, even put God's stamp on it saying God gave it to you, all of that stuff. But when it goes wrong, now you just gotta trust me. Just trust me. Just trust me. This is crazy.
Please be careful of your assumptions. I know there are a lot of questions.
Answer them.
And for some of you, you may be thinking we demand answers.
We should get answers.
But I hope that you will understand, for all of us, this is a very difficult decision, a very difficult situation. But as I stated, I sent the letter to all of our members yesterday, and I hope you would have a chance to read it. The letter was sent to advise you that Pastor Joel Tudman is no longer the senior pastor of the Faith Center. Now, please, I ask that you continue to pray for him and his family.
Now, I'm going to say this right here. I don't believe, nor do I think he should. I don't think Joel Tudman needs to say anything in regards to this. This is bad on this pastor, Bishop Fernandez. This is bad on him. Joel Tudman don't need to say nothing. Joel, go on to the next ministry. Matter of fact, start your own. I just believe he will be successful. Start your own ministry. But this right here, this is on this church and this pastor, because this pastor said he talked to his board and they agreed. He did all of those things. Now you're firing him. So y'all vetting process, and you passed over all these preachers. To get him there. You passed over all these folk to get him there, and now you're just getting rid of him. I'm just saying, this ministry is a large ministry, and this is the problem here that I see. You just got rid of him. So let's keep going. This is bad.
That's what Christians do.
But where's your accountability at? Where's the accountability?
Although the situation is unfortunate, we're obligated to pray for one another. What you're not going to get from Bishop Henry Fernandez is the back and forth, the name blaming. That's not my character. And for those of you who are streaming, I know the comments already there. You have no idea. So I hope that as you post your comments, that you're posting it based on how your spirit led and not emotionally driven.
Okay, so let me address this right here, because he's talking about me and everybody else in this space that talks about things. So, Bishop, let me ask you something, Bishop Fernandez. I want to ask you something. I want to ask you some critical questions. If God told you Joel Tudman was the next generation, did God change his mind, or did you? Because either God was wrong or the leadership was wrong. And I don't think God got this wrong. I'm just saying, let's go ahead and ask the question since you're talking to us right here, right now. My question, next question is, why celebrate Tudman publicly as home and family, then fire him without giving the family, your church, an explanation? That's like calling him a son one week and an orphan the next. I mean, the people deserve better than that, better than just your silence. Next question is, what exactly disqualified Tudman? Was it sin? Was it incompetence? Was it disagreement or politics? What caused him? I mean, the vague, difficult decision statement, that doesn't protect anybody. In fact, it leaves Tudman's reputation hanging in the air for people to assume the worst. That's what you're doing by doing this to Tudman. Question 4 that I got, and I got a few of them. Why are members told not to post emotionally instead of being trusted with the truth? Why are you saying that instead of just trusting them with truth? That sounds less like shepherding and more like silencing. Controlling the comment section doesn't deal with the real issue, sir. Bishop, sir, Fernandez, I have another question as well. Is this truly about the kingdom or about keeping control? Because I think that's really what this is ultimately about. Tudman had influence. And because if succession is about legacy, why does it feel like power and position are the real story here? That's what it feels like to me. I want to know if that feels like that to you. Bishop, I've also got a few more questions. How can the same bishop who admitted he was burning out, because you said it on your podcast, you admitted you were burning out, suddenly have the strength to lead alone again? How is that? In the podcast, he said his season was closing. So which is it? Was that honest? Was that honesty or was that just a setup? Which one was it? And because I know I'm hitting you with these questions because I got to ask the question. This is not emotional. I just want to put it out there so we can get some answers. My next question is, why use the phrase trust God's process when the truth is this was leadership's process? Let's be real. God didn't fire Joel Tudman. People did. And hiding behind spiritual language only raises more suspicion. Y'all, I'm just saying, you got to miss me with that whole thing you're doing right there, acting like God fired him. God didn't fire him. People did. My next question, did the board or leadership team truly agree? Or were they pressured into silence? Because healthy leadership includes accountability. That's what it includes. If this was a one-man decision, that's not transition, that's dictatorship. That's what it is. What lessons are members supposed to take away from this? Y'all, I got a few questions. What members are what are the members supposed to take away from here? Trust leadership no matter what, or ask the hard questions when things don't add up? Because if we're not allowed to think, to ask, to discern, then what are we doing? Blind loyalty isn't faith, it's control. And let me get to this. My final question here, I got to ask you, if Tudman was trained, seasoned, and humbled under Bishop Jakes, what changed so drastically under Bishop Fernandez? This doesn't sound like character failure. It sounds like, it sounds like a clash we're not being told about. You see, here's the truth. When leaders demand trust without giving truth, it's a recipe for spiritual abuse. When churches hide behind pray about it instead of answering, it's a cover-up, not care. That's what's really going on. This isn't about gossip. It's not gossip. It's about accountability. Because if they can do this to Tudman after parading him as God's choice, what makes you think they won't do it to you? We got to talk about all of this. And I want to know ultimately, what are your thoughts about all of this? Because you paraded him around in front of everybody. Then all of a sudden, he fired. Not good enough. We got to talk about this. Meet me in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's go.
Social fire, we don't play. Rock leech bringing the heat all day. Faith Faith on fire, no mask, no leash. Fire in his voice, yeah, abrupt.
He the voice for the ones that the church forgot. He bring truth to the light, whether liked or not.